there, I'm Aleka and welcome to my get together. Today we're going to be making these delicious pumpkin tartlets. They're so cute and they're delicious and they're the perfect thing to eat after this year's Thanksgiving dinner or really any dinner. So let's get started. Okay, so to a mixing bowl or a blender, standing mixer, whatever you have to mix something, your hand may be a little bit more difficult, but you can use your hands for this dough because it's very soft. We're going to be making our cream cheese tart crust first. It is a deliciously easy way to make a crust without needing the shortening or cold butter. Regardless, it's really simple. So temperature doesn't matter, and we don't even need to chill it. So let's get started. So we're gonna need 2 cups of flour. And the best way to measure, guys, is to over scoop it and then just, okay. 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks of butter. I'm going to use unsalted because we're going to add salt, but if you're using salted, omit the salt. Here's a butter tip for you. If your butter is rock hard, straight out of the fridge or the freezer, pop it in the microwave for 30 to 40 seconds. Don't forget about it because it will create that hot, melty pocket that'll just mess your whole microwave up. 10 seconds, flip it, 10 seconds, flip it, and keep rotating it so that it gets nice and soft evenly. 6 ounces of cream cheese. About 1/2 of a cup of powdered sugar. We want to use powdered sugar or confectioner sugar, it's also called, instead of regular granulated sugar because otherwise our dough may be grainy. The last ingredient is pecans or walnuts, or really any type of nut you have. Pecans and pumpkin pie and Thanksgiving all really go well together, but if you don't have pecans, you can use walnuts, which is what I'm using. And it's going to add another level of flavor to your crust, and it's really delicious. Okay, so I'm just gonna add about 1/2 cup to a cup of nuts, pecans, almonds, walnuts, whatever you have. We need 2/3 of a cup of crushed. So the best way to do it is to put your nuts in a food processor and puree them until they're very fine. And I love this mini food processor. I have a mini one and I have a huge like honka food processor that's like too massive for half of the things that I need it for. This is like the perfect size. If you want me to link to it below, I will, but it's just perfect for like little jobs like this. So 2/3 cup, I'm just gonna eyeball it here. And let's now mix it together. I should give her a name. She looks like a Betsy. Should I call her Betsy? Blue Betsy. So mix it on low because all of that flour and powdered sugar is gonna fly everywhere if you don't. It's gonna take about a minute or 2. Okay, it's done. You'll know it's done when it sticks to your beater or the pan, and you can really roll it into a ball. You can roll it to a ball if you want. It's gonna be sticky, but it's not gonna be too sticky. If it's too sticky, add a little bit more flour. And if you want it a little bit easier to work with, you can throw it in the fridge to chill, but you don't need to. Okay, so next we're going to make our delicious pumpkin pie filling. It's very simple. We're going to need 1 egg, 1/2 of a cup of heavy whipping cream. They're very similar in fat content, but you want that fat from it to give it that fluffy and rich flavor. You're going to want a cup of pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie mix, but the puree, because the pumpkin pie mix is already sweetened and spiced, and we're gonna add sugar and spices ourselves so we can control what we're putting in. So the ingredients should just have pumpkin in it. Next, 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar, lightly packed. Whenever you work with brown sugar, you don't ever wanna like cram it in there. You don't want it overflowing, you just wanna lightly pack it in so that it's level. 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And you guys know how people throw salt over their shoulder? I'm gonna throw some pumpkin spice over my shoulder because it's pumpkin season and I need some good luck. Next, we're gonna do 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I always put a little extra vanilla because I love it so much. Can you really have too much vanilla? I don't think so. 1/4 of a teaspoon salt. Just gonna measure eyeball salt, okay? And this is it. We're gonna mix this up just until it's well incorporated. Okay, our filling is all finished. So what's left to do? We have to fill our tart shells or our molds. You guys have 2 options for making your tarts. You can use a mini muffin or cupcake mold. These are awesome because they're silicone and you can pop them right out and they won't get stuck. How amazing. Off of Amazon, I can link to that below. And by the way, these will be a little bit smaller of a tart. If you want them prettier and a little bit bigger and really just aesthetically more pleasing, these are amazing. And I also got these off of Amazon and I will link to them below. And they are also non-stick. So the tarts literally will just slide right out of them. So they're awesome and they give it a pretty crunchy crust to your tarts. So they're so pretty. So I'm gonna show you how we're gonna fill our tarts. So you wanna take a good chunk of dough and just use your fingers. I swear they're the best tools. Wash your hands well and then just get in there and use your finger and just press the dough into the side of your shell. You want the dough to come all the way up so that it really reaches the tippy top of your shell. And if you're doing this in a muffin tin, you want it all the way up to the side of the muffin. The trick with this is you don't want the bottom too thin or else the pumpkin will seep out and you'll be able to see the pumpkin. You don't really want that. You want a nice thick crust, but you don't want it too thick to the point where the ratio of pumpkin to crust is off. And there's one. Your kids can definitely help you with this if you have some kids doing nothing around the house. Put them to work. I'm going to use a little mini ice cream scoop and scoop the puree filling into each tart shell until it just reaches the top. They will expand just a little bit, but not as much as muffins or cupcakes would. Once you have all your tart shells filled up and ready to go, you're going to want to place them on a sheet pan, any size, so that they're easy to put in and take out. And you're gonna bake them at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. Okay, our little mini pumpkin tartlets are ready. I'm gonna show you how to take this guy out of the mold without any stress. Ooh, there he goes. That's it. Look how easy he popped right out. So these guys are definitely worth the purchase. If you guys have some fresh nutmeg or whipped cream, that would be the best way to present your little mini pumpkin tartlets. You can take your little nutmeg pod and a dollop of whipped cream on top of each with some more cinnamon on top. Oh, they're perfect. You guys, these are going to be an absolute hit at your next get together, especially after Thanksgiving, I guarantee it. And if you're having a Friendsgiving, hello tartlets. Your girlfriends are gonna love them, or boyfriends, whatever. Hopefully you guys love this recipe. You can print it out by visiting the link below. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video. And if you hit the bell, you'll be alerted when a new video comes on YouTube from yours truly. Have a great day, guys, and happy Thanksgiving. Yeah.